Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your February weekly reading of February the 10th to February the 16th. So we're on Valentine's Day week, so happy Valentine's Day. This has been very much about love in many of them, but not all of them. But we are kind of ruled by Venus this week, so there's likely a lot of relationship dynamic coming through in the readings. Obviously, we will have a look in a moment. I am using my Archangel Michael cards. These are the cards that I started reading with. So if you've been with me from the very beginning, 8 or 9 years ago, when I started on Facebook before heading to YouTube and trying to establish a channel, which is where we're back again after a long break. These cards are right there where we started with Archangel Michael, my spirit guide. He's here to give us some advice for February 2nd week. So let's see what's in store for you, Sagittarius. Now, we start with 2 reverse cards, which means pay attention to this energy. It wants you to listen. Shield yourself and honor and trust your feelings. So it may be quite a vulnerable time. I think for some of you, and what pops straight into my brain is kind of like as though you've been single for quite some time. So when it comes round to, Valentine's and relationships are kind of shoved in your face, I feel like you could potentially be in this energy of being vulnerable, right? So make sure you're shielding yourself and make sure you understand like the lives of others is not a reflection of the lives of you. You are exactly where you need to be. However, honor and trust in your feelings. If you're feeling that way, love it. Like love yourself for it. Accept yourself for it. Protect yourself from any outside influence. That is not you. That is not your life. The way that you are living is truly essential to who you are. And if you don't like it, we start by changing it. However, we honor and respect where we are right now and the power that comes with that. Now, aside from relationships, that still applies to you, not in terms of relationship, in whatever you are feeling right now during that time. Shield yourself from outside influences. I do think that you may be potentially very vulnerable during this time for whatever reasons specific to you, and it's time for you to nurture and respect yourself for how you're feeling. Feel those feelings is the guidance with this, and again, you are where you need to be. So the things you are feeling, they're not things that are hindering you. These are things for you to work with. Once we understand, like it is a luxury to feel things. A lot of people suppress so many emotions that, or even that they're neurodivergent, because I'm neurodivergent. And sometimes like, I don't even know how I'm feeling, right? And when we actually take time to try and understand how we're feeling and nurture and respect that, it may not even be feeling the feeling that you initially thought. Because when you dive into your emotions, you're like, oh, I'm grieving. That opens you up to a higher understanding of yourself. Next is have confidence and use your imagination. You'll see the answer. Now you're being guided to have faith and trust, again, that you are where you are for a reason and you're feeling what you're feeling. The use your imagination is generally getting to this creative energy. Allow yourself to think outside the box. And I think this comes with the same kind of movement of trusting your feelings. I think like once you look at things from a different perspective, things start to fall into place. And that's what this card represents. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water. My mouth's feeling a little bit dry. So reach for your dreams and have confidence. This card does represent on the right path and also favorable outcomes. It's kind of like trust in the process because we've got the good stuff coming. So that is a very good card to have in your second position, especially after saying, you might be feeling a little bit emotional, but this is driving you. Have confidence, trust. Yeah. New beginnings. This is in reverse. He wants you to know you're in new beginnings and a fresh start. So if you're thinking of starting something new, even relationships, but anywhere, but specifically I'll touch on the relationship aspect of this. This is a new thing, potentially. Not if you're in a relationship, this part doesn't apply to you, but essentially this is a new thing. So take it as that fresh seed. This is not something you've had before. It's not the same as the person's not the same person. You are not in the same energy. So again, new beginnings, fresh start. I won't read that card across it yet as we touch on this. So anyway, either way, for you Sagittarius, you are in this new beginning energy, which means that again, we often can feel vulnerable because all of a sudden dreams are starting to seem possible, or at least being able to come into having ideas and inspiration. And that can all of a sudden make us think like, oh my God, this is so intimidating. New things are happening. This is changes. However, like this is a favorable outcome card. When we're in this fresh start, it means like you're starting from a new slate, which means possibilities are endless. Now the crossing card is prayer will help you with the situation. This is a trust and have faith. And I feel like you really need to trust yourself at this time. With the fact that we have honor and trust your feelings, to then move to use your imagination, to then prayer will help you. It's like trust is really the essence. So again, in terms of relationship, trust is the key here. You should always go into a relationship trusting first. People will show you if they're not trustworthy. But if we go in there expecting them not to be, we can self-prophesize and see things that are not really there. And I think if you are coming into a space where you're bringing the past into this, it's not going to work because again, the past wasn't here. It's not a part of the ingredient. That's what I feel like with this new beginning. Now again, it's bringing you back to feelings side of things because we have self-respect. So boundaries are essential. And it's you honoring and respecting yourself and trusting in yourself, trusting you know what's right for you and having those boundaries. This is a self-love position. Starting on feelings and coming to feelings halfway through this reading. Not that we are halfway through, but in terms of how the cards are laid out, it's coming to this halfway way. It's, to me, self-love is essential for you during this time. Guarded and protected is a card that says you are guarded and protected during this time, and the fact you have prayers will help you with this. Your spiritual team and whatever your faith is, however you view it, they are there supporting you. That energy is supporting you during this time. So again, honor and love yourself. You are doing the best you can and have always done the best you can in situations. And the very least that you can do is respect yourself in that. And understand that, again, you are the key ingredient to your life. Honor that. Next we come, it's time to leave an unhelpful situation paired with the situation is already resolved. So if you need to leave bad habits and patterns behind, it feels like this is saying, look, these bad habits and patterns are ending now, so it is resolved, it's leaving you. So continue on the good work. It also can mean that it's time for you to let go of something that has hindered you this far. Again, this could instigate why there's a lot of feelings and emotions coming to the surface, because as we let go of anything, even if it's a way of being, or old homes, like moving home, letting go of something that was a child going to school. Like my youngest has just started school. So, it's like starting a whole new chapter and letting go of what was, of always having them there by your side and they go to school. This is a new chapter. It's time to leave that chapter behind and not bring it with you, because again, you can't go back. You can only look forward. And I think it is a time of you releasing these things. It is saying what's done is done. So let's not focus on the past and start with that shedding and releasing. So again, honoring and trusting in your feelings, in what needs to be released from you during this time. You and your loved ones are safe and innocent. Yeah, you are in a vulnerable position, like just as in your feelings or something is very vulnerable. We have innocence with this, right? With you and your loved ones are safe. So maybe concerns in regards to family or relationships. I do get the sense with this coming even after new beginnings, of just feeling vulnerable in accepting new beginnings. So maybe there is a new love here. If you're already in a relationship, I feel like it could just be dynamics or something shifting in that, or maybe it's just not even relationship related, but just something is making you just feel vulnerable. So understand, again, you are this cute little puppy who needs nurturing, this baby that you're bringing in, like that is still a part of you. You still need that loving protection from yourself, to that understanding and acceptance of who you are, because again, you're doing the best you can and you are worthy. But again, you're protected during this time. You and your loved ones are safe. It's saying let go of any concerns and worries, because again, you are loved. You are worthy. you have all the time in the world, because we have take your time making this decision, which means there's no rushing, which means you are being guided to nurture. A favorable outcome is paired with this. So I have said that, and this is literally underneath the new beginnings and a fresh start as well. So definitely on the right path. Again, focus on what it is that you want to come out of situations. So again, if you're getting into relationships or you're in a relationship, focus on what you want from that relationship and not what you don't want. I do feel like, again, we're releasing and letting go of the things that are harmful for us. It's time to leave an unhealthy situation, right? Sometimes that is bad patterns that we get ourselves into. It's negative views, ways of thinking. Again, focusing on the right things. It's leading you towards a favorable outcome. But again, take your time making decisions means that you do not have to be jumping into anything, which means if it's new, take your time, enjoy the moment. Final two cards. This is like the fastest weekly reading I've done this week, I think, because this is just all coming out really quickly. This is your life's purpose. Admit the truth and act accordingly. This is your life purpose is what the third card, which is saying you're on the right path. This is meant for you. So again, honor and trust where you are right now, because this is where you're heading. This is where you are meant to go. And again, it's bringing the wisdom with you that you've learned this far, but again, holding it close to you, the positives, the goods that you brought, and leaving behind and letting go what doesn't serve you anymore. We don't bring the past with us. We bring the lessons we learned with us and not the past itself. Admit the truth and act accordingly would be me saying maybe it's time for you to admit what you have been holding on to, what does need to shift and be let go of. And I feel like for you, for a lot, it is a mentality, the way that maybe you have self-protected over time. So nurturing yourself through this. Don't beat yourself up for this self-protection, because there was a time where that was necessary for you to heal, but you are now accepting the healing and growing, and accepting the new. You're in a new chapter, so you're no longer in that vulnerable state anymore. Yes, you may feel vulnerable and feel exposed, but you are going to honor and trust those feelings and admit what needs to change and shift in your life right now. So thank you so much, Sagittarius. I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, especially because I feel like we got through that very quickly. So please ask if you would like me to expand on that for you. Please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to spending this year with you for your monthlies and weeklies. Thank you, guys.